Tom Seaver was Tom Seaver, and that spells all-star in any league. Seaver had his third 20-game season with a 21-12 mark and almost made the record books with a gallant try at a no-hitter on July 4th against San Diego. For the second time in his career, Seaver was only 3 outs away from perfection. With over 40,000 fans cheering him on, the first out was easy enough. Wayne Garrett to Ed Kranepool. Leron Lee was next. Lee's single to center halted the no-hit effort, and suddenly Seaver was faced with a tying run at home plate in the person of Big Nate Colbert. Seaver induced Colbert to ground into a game-ending double play to preserve the shutout and the 4th one-hitter of his career. Although Tom Seaver had an outstanding season, there were some critics who dwelled on his mid-season slump. Tom answered them on September 20th with a 1-run, 15-strikeout masterpiece against the Pirates.
It's nice at the end of the year to pitch a game like that, knowing that you're not over the hill at 27 years old. I mean, those things begin to go through your mind. You wonder if all the troubles that you've had all summer long are really a manifestation of age and wear and tear on your body, and you wonder if you'll ever be able to pitch the way that you know you can. And it's that type of game, striking out 15 and winning a game, giving up 1 run, and is a great morale booster. It's a great game to live the winter on, and it gives you a positive approach as opposed to, say, a negative approach.
Tom Seaver explains.
Those are the fellas that we thought were going to be playing for us every day, all season long, and that's one reason why when we left Florida, we thought we had an excellent chance to win. And then all of a sudden, they're hurting in and out of the lineup, and it's very difficult. And I think even more so, the biggest factor is not having Harrelson at shortstop. He makes the defense click, and having him playing shortstop every day is the same thing as having a top-notch pitcher. It keeps you out of a losing streak.
You can't get elected to the Hall of Fame until your playing career has ended. But they might as well reserve some room for Tom Seaver right now. After a painful 11-11 season in '74, Seaver had a spectacular year that concluded with his 3rd Cy Young Award, a 22-9 mark, and strikeout plateaus that give him additional space in the record manuals. In this, his 9th season with the Mets, Tom approached his 2000th career strikeout in mid-season. The magic moment arrived with Dan Dreesen of the Cincinnati Reds at bat. Tom went to the breaking ball against Dreesen, got 2 quick strikes, jamming him in on the hands, then went outside for number 2000. Seaver remembers it well.
Well, getting my 2000 strikeout, it wasn't really just another number, but it was in the middle of a tough ball game against Cincinnati, and I was aware of it. I knew it would be number 2000. It obviously is a big number, and I think I'll go on, hopefully, to strike out 3,000 people, and 2,000 will have been just a step in that direction.
On September 1st, with a gala holiday crowd cheering him on, Tom Seaver was on the verge of a strikeout record that would put him at the top of the cream of the crop. No Major League pitcher had ever put together 8 consecutive seasons of 200-plus strikeouts.
Manny Stanguian is coming up. Walked and had a base hit. Swing and a miss. It's strike 1. Stanguian is hitting .324. He is a tough man at the plate. Seaver now sets, checks back over his shoulder, deals the strike 1 pitch, swung on and missed. Came with a fastball. It's 0-2. And the crowd here is riding with Seaver on every pitch. They're very knowledgeable. They know exactly what the circumstances are with regard to records and everything else. 2-strike count to Stanguian. Seaver sets up now, checks back over his shoulder. Here's the pitch. Swing on and miss. Struck him out. An ovation for Seaver, who has struck out 200 batters. Rudy turns and tosses the ball over to the dugout. That'll be placed among Seaver's souvenirs. He is the only pitcher in the history of Major League Baseball to strike out 200 or more batters in 8 successive seasons. He's getting a standing ovation at Shea. Tom Seaver. the only pitcher in all the long history of Major League Baseball to strike out 200 or more batters in 8 successive seasons.
It was a great moment for Tom, and one that he'll never forget.
The strikeout mark for me was very emotional, all things considered. There were a lot of things in the ball game. We were still in a pennant race, and it was records are funny things. You don't really appreciate them while you're accomplishing them, but after a while they become, I think during the winter, they become very significant. Probably during the winter for me, I'll be able to sit back and evaluate what I did and appreciate it much more than I did, say, during that evening.
Tom Seaver knows that feeling well. Seaver followed up on his 3rd Cy Young Award with another good season, highlighted by an extremely stingy 2.59 earned run average. Seaver led all National League pitchers in strikeouts as usual, but toiled in tough luck for much of the season to wind up with a 14-11 mark. 5 of those 14 wins were shutouts. Seaver continued his amazing string of 200 or more strikeouts for a record-breaking 9th consecutive season, with number 200 coming against the Phillies on September 3rd.
The count is 1-2. The pitch by Seaver. He struck him out. He got him. That's number 200. And a standing ovation for Tom Seaver, who has now struck out 200 or more batters for the 9th consecutive year, which extends his own Major League record.
Seaver didn't stop there. He finished off the Phils with a flourish in a thrilling 1-0 shutout performance and went on to record 235 strikeout victims in 1976.
A major step toward that success came in 1967 when a 22-year-old rookie joined the Mets following a season in Jacksonville.
One thing, obviously, that I always remember when my first start in the big leagues was right here at Shea Stadium. It was in April of 1967, the 2nd game of the year. Don Cardwell had started opening day, and I was pitching against the Pirates. And we won the ball game, and I think the score was 3-2. I was taken out by Wes Westrom at the time, about the 7th or 8th inning. Chuck Estrada came in and threw up a double play ball, and we went on to score a run in the 8th or 9th inning or something like that. We ended up winning my first ball game that I ever pitched in the major leagues. We won. I didn't get credit for the win, but I participated in a winning effort. That was certainly a memorable event for me.